Hey, what's up, y'all?
Hi, everybody.
Day 3 at WBC has come to an end for us.
Yes, it has.
It's been a long day, but not. It's been a pretty chill day,
It
I
has
think,
been,
overall.
but
Yeah?
like a lot of vacations are for me anyway. It feels like we landed in Philadelphia about 13 years ago, when in fact it was, 3 days ago?
Right, something like that. Yeah, it feels like it's been forever.
It
So here
does.
it is, Monday night?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Monday night. Or as our buddy Matt says, 6 Saturdays and a Sunday, it
Yeah.
feels like right now. So it's Monday night. We flew in early Friday morning, but it feels like it's been forever.
Yeah,
In,
it
in
really
the best
does.
kind of way, though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So today was kind of our take it easy day, not a ton of gaming planned. So we slept in.
Yep, it was nice.
Went to breakfast, had a lot of fruit, had some
Yes.
oatmeal. That was nice. Then you decided, hey, you wanted to go ahead and bust out the podcast and get that out early, right?
Yeah, so we went to the lobby, which is the only place that you can actually get internet service.
Right, and it's good internet,
It is.
Wi-Fi at that
Yeah.
point, but up here in the room and everything, it's
Nothing.
yeah, it's just frustration.
Yeah, it's
is all
you
it
can't.
is.
You get like one bar, and it's just you don't get any service at all.
It's just not usable, and so I use that time to actually catch up on the Patreon Slack
Right.
chat,
Right.
and see what everyone's been talking about the last day or so.
Right.
So that was a nice way to ease into the day, right?
Yeah, for sure. Then after that, we played some Vasco da Gama with Jim and Joe.
Yeah, a couple of elephants
Yeah.
and now friends of ours, but
Yes.
friends of Carmen from Game Surplus. And yeah, that was pretty cool. So
Yeah.
so they kind of tag team teaching the game. And I got to say, I enjoyed the game quite a bit.
I did too. It was fun.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. Obviously, I should have played better, but first game,
Right.
right? But yeah, it's definitely one that's going to hit the table once we
Yes.
get home, for sure.
Most definitely.
Just a clever mechanism of being able to, you're almost bidding for action order, and betting on limited information on whether you're going to have to pay a lot of money or no money,
Right.
or maybe a little bit of money to be able to take your action on a given time.
It's very clever.
I definitely enjoyed it. So yeah, definitely big fan of that. So big thanks to them for doing that. My favorite pastime
Yes.
at conventions is actually going around taking pictures of people playing the
Yep.
games and just seeing what all's getting played. And if you follow us on Twitter, then you saw a huge amount of tweets that went out, everything from a Monster War Game 1914 all the way to Circus Maximus and everything in between. It was a really cool chance to see a whole lot of really great games
Yeah.
getting played today.
It really was. It was really cool, and they did have quite a few of the big war games down in the main ballroom, but they moved them all up to a kind of a separate
festival
area.
room, right? One of like 15 rooms they
Yeah,
have.
there's
that
so many rooms here.
Yeah, there's so much gaming going on.
Yeah, and there was one room that was pretty much all A World at War.
Yeah. Yep. It was.
And, yeah,
that was
it wa-
pretty cool to see.
It was impressive, and I was telling you that walking around and seeing all of these games being played, all of these enormous games that it takes a week to play, and everybody has binders full of notes and I'm just fascinated by it. I feel like we should have some sugar smacks. Like, I'm so enthralled, and it makes me really want to play these types of games.
That's really cool to hear. And the guys, everybody that's playing these games that we have interacted with has been nothing but pleasant.
No, nothing but nice.
And just willing to talk and explain. Like the other day, we ran into the guys playing 1914 before they moved. And they were talking about how, it's easy to judge why, the Germans did or didn't, succeed in certain ways,
Right.
and the Russians did or didn't back in 1914. And they said it's really interesting to be able to put yourself in the general's shoes and try and make those same decisions.
And then you realize, oh, that's how they lost it, or how
right,
they won it, or whatever.
I see why they had the types of decisions that they had.
Yeah.
And to me, that's what wargaming is about.
Right.
That, and giving you a hunger to learn about the
Yes.
history.
Yes.
I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, when we went to Gettysburg, up until that point, I had very little interest in the Civil War.
Right.
Just not my favorite time period to
Right.
learn about. But now that we have briefly, mind you,
Now
seen
that, yeah.
the battlefield.
Now that we've been there, I want to go to the library and I want to read books about it and I want to play the games and I want to play U.S. Civil War and it's just, it lights a fire under my butt to make me want to do these things.
All right. So hopefully that you stick with that,
I hope
or
so.
it sticks with you,
Yeah.
as it were.
I hope so because it seems really cool to me. All of these things.
I thought it was really awesome to see all
Yeah.
those, and it's going to be going on all week. Now, understand that it's not all war games. I mean, you guys saw the turnout for Terraforming Mars was a massive turnout. So it's not all war games. It's just.
I mean, there's certain areas that's all it is.
Right.
But even in the all war game area, there was still Circus Maximus
And there was when we get to talking about Sekigahara, there was a table playing Orleans. So,
just everything's interspersed kind of everywhere.
So after that, we went and decided, hey, let's learn the Elkfest for the tournament tonight.
Yes.
And it's a cute little 2-player dexterity flicking game, which, I won 2-1.
Yeah, you did.
So victory, me. You won
Yes.
the first game.
Yes.
Then we did, or beforehand we said we'll play 2 out of 3. You won the first game.
And then he won. Me and my moose didn't have a chance.
Nope. I think I was.
I was Jules.
You were Jules. I was Ollie. And Jules got all wet, and
Yeah.
Ollie was victorious.
That is correct.
For practice for later on. Then after that, we just kind of chilled out, and then ran into Matt Calkins, who is the designer of Sekigahara as well as of Tengus, and said, "Hey, Matt, about 8 o'clock, you free tonight to sit down and do a little interview?" And he's like, "Yeah, that'd be great." Super nice guy.
Yeah.
Could not, just salt of the earth, really kind guy.
Very.
And I'll be honest, when I sat down and interviewed him, it ended up being a lot more insightful than I, maybe thought it was going to be as a quote-unquote con interview, because those tend to be shorter and a little bit more superficial.
He really went in depth with a lot of stuff. It was interesting.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited for y'all to hear that. So look for that. Hopefully in the next couple of days, we'll probably release that.
Not quite sure how I'm going to release that, but yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that was about 20-25 minutes. That was really, really good. Then after that, had dinner and then got ready, kind of looked around at the auction setup. Can't wait for that
Yeah, so
to
excited.
go. And then we hung out with Carmen, Jim, and Joe getting ready to play Elkfest. And I'm happy to report I got the first ever heavy cardboard heat victory
Yay!
in Elkfest. I think I beat like a 14-year-old kid. I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
I don't care. I beat him.
Yes,
Fair
you
and
did.
square. I beat
Yes,
him
you did.
2-0. Best 2 out of 3. And then after that, I had a bye to get into the Sweet 16 and then got trounced.
Oh.
There is a lot more strategy there than meets the eye in this little flicking game. So just heads up about that. So next year, I'm going to come prepared.
All right.
After that, I saw these 2 guys, these 2 older gentlemen, playing a game called old school Avalon Hill called Football Strategy. This was the semifinal of the heats, or the final of the heats to get into the semifinal.
Okay.
And it really seemed like a huge grudge match between these 2. And it's like Tecmo Bowl. One guy picks a play from a chart, another guy has a deck of cards for the defense, like A through whatever letter, and the offense calls out a number for the play they're running. The defense shows the card that they picked, and then and you're keeping track on a chart
wow.
and all that. The game came down, 2-minute drive, guy scored with 30 seconds to go in the game, down by 1, elects to go for 2. And made it.
Oh,
and it
wow.
was hugely dramatic, and it was just awesome. These 2 guys have known each other since Christ was a corporal, and they've been going head to head. They make it deep every year. They face off against one another. Last year, the other guy won.
That's great.
This year, this guy. It was awesome to see. And I was like, that right there is the epitome of what the WBC is about.
for sure.
So that was really, really cool. Yeah, so that's all I got.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is all about auction, and then after that, dominant species,
Yep.
and maybe some brass Birmingham.
Maybe
That's
so,
it?
yeah. We
So-
actually were, while Edward was playing in the heats and stuff, I stayed in the lobby and worked on the Matt Calkins interview and stuff, and he came up to meet me to go to bed, and he had brass Birmingham, and these two men were checking
Not
into
Matt, I did, me.
Yeah, you
right,
did.
yeah.
These two guys were checking into the hotel, and we were turning the corner, and all of a sudden we heard, "Is that brass Birmingham?"
Is that the new brass? And I was like, dude, good eyes.
Yeah.
And he's like, how'd you get it? And I said, well, we've had it for a few months.
He was like,
and
"Wait, what?" He was so
Yeah.
confused. It was funny. He'd
So
never
he's
heard
like,
of us, but
You're going to run demos? I'm like, yeah, we'll play it later on this week. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, that'd be great.
so gave him a
So-
card. So hopefully he'll tweet us or something. But
Yeah, that
it
was really cool.
It was really cool. But
All
that's
right.
it.
All right, we'll see y'all, or I guess catch y'all tomorrow after
Yeah.
the auction. I'm
Yep,
really
yep.
excited.
Me too.
All right, have a good night, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.